When I think of 1111, about the journey of life, the adventures, this book is a man's journey through life and her father and family, but something that we can all relate to. So while not everyone has a perfect childhood or relationship with their father, this book shows you that life's journey is yours to take. There's laughter, there's magic, there's adventure, struggle, pain, and anger from all the times when your parents let you down, from the time you were a child to dread. They were still your parents. As you read the book, you start thinking about your own lucky numbers in life. You will start to realize that things that you give strength through, a higher power to get through life's good and bad times. As you read further, you will be reminded again, this is your journey to life, not anyone else's. So make it good. Then, as you finish the book, you realize in the end that all we have is just our family. While people in your family you may not like, you may disagree at times, it's okay. And if you take anything from this book, it's always just up to you. I love you more than words can say. And as I struggle with my eyes, what I want to talk to you about today is how gratitude isn't something that we wait till the end. And so I'm going to take a couple things from my toolkit that I love to talk about. So I want you to get out your papers and pencils. I used to be in the classroom and you guys get to be my students. So number one, you want to get out a book or put it in your head and start out every day with gratitude. Because you can change the trajectory of your mind by shaping it with thinking about the positive things that are going on and happening in your day. Instead of going and picking up that phone and seeing how many followers you have on this one or that one, start out with gratitude. The second thing I do is I wake up in the morning and I stretch. So I want everyone to put their hands above their head and stretch. Turn around. These are some important things that we can do when life gets us really bad. When I'm really upset, I take out another piece of paper anytime during the day and I start thinking about, what do I have to be grateful for? What is it that really matters in my life? And then as a person who's always looking at professional development, I heard this thing about a 3x5 card. So I'm going to go out and buy 3x5 cards. And you want to write down, when you wake up in the morning, what are the 3 things I need to do that day? You check them off and you get to the end of the day and you come back and you look at them. But the next thing I want to ask you is, how many of you have a passion for something? Raise your hand. How many of you actually spend time doing it? And so one of the important things is that you take out that time to do what you love to do. And if you know me, I'm a person of many talents. I write books, I speak on stages, and through a great adversity, I became a painter. Something I never thought that I could. And when it's really bad, really ugly, I say, it's time to get out a picture and start painting and start drawing. And it's amazing what transforms through these things. So I don't want you to wait to the end of life till you find those passions and spend the time doing them. But there are simple things we can do every day. I want you to turn to your neighbor right now, and I want you to give them a compliment. Some compliment. Some compliment. Something. I guess those compliments are going pretty well. They can't stop there. They're continuing. So imagine if you could, the next person you see, the person who serves you the food tonight, when you go off and you leave, send someone a compliment. The other interesting thing in life is about random acts of kindness. What if we went out and did a random acts of kindness? And so I want to tell you one of my favorite ones from my first book. It's called Random Acts of Kindness for Changing the World. I was a teacher in a college classroom. And in this college classroom, I asked people to go out and do random acts of kindness. So the student came up to me one day and he said, you know, I paid money for the person in the grocery store or in the Starbucks. They went on for 15 people. And that was just the first day. He said, it's going to get better. So he comes back the next day, 3 months later, he says, oh my God, I was on the side of the freeway and I saw these people waving their hands. And they were waving their hands. And he came over and the woman said, my husband has just had a heart attack. He can't quite move. And I'd appreciate if you could just push us to the side of the road. And she's trying to set him up on a date. And he says, no, I'm just doing this thing I have to do for my class. And that was the second story. The third story was this. He worked in a restaurant. He drove over an hour to get to the school. And one day these people came in and they were kind of huddled over and the guy stunk and the kids had shoes that were put together by safety clips. And he came up and he says, could you please give us some food? We're just so hungry. And he said, just go out in the back and we'll do something. And he brought him out some food. And then the owner said to put a sign in the window that said, we now feed the homeless. And the story doesn't end there. Oh yeah, he says this other thing. I'm so grateful that you brought us out these food because we were just digging in the trash cans. This is all we had to eat that day. Months later, a nice car goes ahead and pulls up and the guy comes in a 3-piece suit. He looks at me and said, you know what you did for us that night was amazing. I wanted to teach my kids a lesson. And I wanted to show them to give value to what they have in the cupboard. And I wanted to show them to be really, truly grateful for what is. And thanks to what you have done, we've opened up a shelter to feed the homeless. And so these are what random acts of kindness can be. And what Kathy has done is put a book together that gives us all tools, that gives us inspiration of how we can change our life, to follow that creativity. So I want you once more turn toward your neighbor and say, what is the one thing that you're going to take that I've shared with you today that you're going to put to practice and make sure that you make happen? So turn to the person next to you. So what's amazing is I sit and listen to the tone and the volume, and I look at the gestures that I see in front of me, and I see the caricatures on the face, and there's a completely different tone. We're talking about that commitment, that desire of that thing that we want to share. I could stand up here and tell you for hours and go on and on and on. This event is truly all about Kathy, and I want us to celebrate the book that she has. It's From Life to Death. It's in a journey, and you will truly relish the information that is inside of it. My name is Rosalind Khan. My message is this. My mission is to tell a story that leaves a legacy. And hopefully you will have that story that you want to leave that legacy that you can go away with in that book that you want to write as a reflection of what we've seen today. So let's give it up to Kathy. Let's give her a round of applause. And thank you so much.